Hello everyone and welcome to Virtual Nepali channel. Today I'm going to show you how to fill out the DS-260 form by yourself. This is an entirely online form and also known as Immigrant Visa and Alien Registration Application Form. U.S. Immigration Office may ask you to fill out this form if you applied for immigration because you recently won a DB lottery, or you are a husband, wife, parent, children, brother, sister of an American citizen, or because of your employment in the US and various other reasons. This is a long form which could take several hours, but the good thing is you do not have to finish the entire form at one sitting. Important thing to remember, once submitted, you will not be able to go back and edit or make changes. So you have to make sure that it's right the first time. Do reach out to professionals or immigration lawyers if you do not feel comfortable. After watching this video, you will find out that this form is not that difficult and there are plenty of tips on the page. Let's get started. Next few seconds, I'm going to talk about the DV lottery. This is the page you come to check the status. Once you click on the check status button here, you're going to see this page here where you enter your confirmation number and your last name and the year of birth. Once you provide that on the next page, it's going to tell you if you won or not. If you have been selected, and link right here, click on this dvselectee.state.gov website. You're going to be on this page where it has step-by-step instruction what to do after you are selected. It talks about filling out the DS-260 form right away. You should carefully read each and every line of this instruction to better understand the process. On the next page, it talks about filling out the form again, DS-260, and then preparing supporting document. As soon as you fill out this form, you should immediately start preparing all the document listed over here. And it talks about the interview process, what you need during the interview, how to prepare for an interview, and if you need to change the interview, medical examination, and so on and so forth. Link for form 260, and then it's going to take me right here. Once you click on DS260, it's last name comma first name, and on the start now button, first page it talks about getting started, and this is a step-by-step process. It just explains everything. I want you guys to pause for a minute and just read this first sentence here. Provide true and complete answers to all questions you're being asked. Make sure you provide all accurate information. Check on I certify that I have read and understand. Once you do that, this next page, you're going to see these are all the sections. Like we just reviewed the getting started page. And after that, you'll be entering your personal information 1 and 2, address and phone, family, previous year's travel, work, education, training, security, and background, social security number before you finish the entire form. So again, right here it talks about, it could take at least 120 minutes to complete this entire form, like 2 hours. So first section, your personal information, you got to provide your last name and then your given name, your first name right here. And here is the example right here. And on the right hand side, helps and tips, what to enter, and full name in native alphabet. So if your alphabet is different than English, you may not be able to enter it. In my case, I couldn't enter it. It is different than English. So I just clicked on technology not available. It asks you about your other names or aliases. Next, your gender, marital status, and date of birth, city of birth, state, and country. And next page, you're going to provide your nationality and your document title and the passport number right here. The issuing country, issue date, and the expiration date when your passport will expire. And it asks you about whether you hold a dual citizenship. In my case, the answer was no. The next section, I'm going to have to provide my address. If you had several addresses, then you're going to have to list them all out here. And previous addresses, In my case, it was easy. Just I've been living at the same house since I was born. In this section, you have to provide your complete U.S. mailing address where you intend to live when you arrive here, and the person who is currently living there, and his or her phone number, street address, city, state, zip code. Make sure that information is valid. This is the same address where U.S. Immigration Office will send you your green card. Here it is asking you whether you want your green card to be mailed to the address listed above or not. Next section is about your family, parents, your father, his last name, first name, date of birth. If you do not know, you can click on do not know, and the address, whether your father is still alive, current address. Further down is about your mom, her last name at birth, first name, date of birth, place, city, state, country, and whether she's still alive and if your mom still lives with your dad. In this section, it is asking you about your ex-wives or husbands. Next section, it will ask you about your children. Just provide accurate detail. If you ever been to the United States, have you ever been issued a US visa? If you were refused a US visa. Next section, from this drop down, you select your occupation. If you're a student, you can select that one as well and provide your school name or your employer name and their address. And if you have more than one occupation, you select in here. And it is talking about which occupation you intend to work when you are in the US. There's a drop down to select from. If you're going to continue your study, you can select student, or if you can be working in a certain field, the choice would be there. And next, once you're done with your current work and education and training, you're going to have to provide your details about your previous work, education, and training information here. If you're previously employed, you select yes or no, and then their address, name, and so on and so forth. Job title, telephone number, supervisor's name, employment date from start, and when you ended the job. It's asking whether that job required 2 years of education or training or not. In this section here, you have to describe type of work and your duties. In this section, it is asking you about your high school diploma, 12 year of school and above. Choose from the drop down and keep adding name, address, and so on. Next, course of study, degree or diploma, school start date and school end date. This section here, more about your work, education, and training, about your military service, organization, and other skills or training. Choose yes or no depending on your case. Multilingual, plus point. Next section is about security and background. Again, in this page, be truthful and yes or no based on your case. Next page is about your criminal background. Just yes and no. Next, security information. Again, there are a lot of questions, yes or no. Next page has more security related questions. Next, security and background, immigration law violation information. Miscellaneous information, yes or no. Next section is about a social security number. Social security number is a card with 9-digit unique numbers issued to every American citizen's permanent and temporary residents. It is generally used for employment, housing, rentals, banking, and more. It is a must-have for everyone. If you never had a social security number before or to be mailed to you, right here, Immigration Office has to share your information to Social Security Administration in order to issue your social security number. So it is asking you whether you authorize or not. Finally, we're at the last stage. Here it will let you review everything you have entered. This is the review section, and I cannot stress enough how important it is to make sure everything you have entered here is valid and matches with your passport and other information you have provided to US government. If you need to make changes, you click on edit or view personal information to make changes. All the Q&A, you can make changes here. One section at a time. Everything you have entered so far, you can print it out here, button here. And this is the last step to sign and submit your form. Read this page carefully. Before you sign or complete this form, you got to click on this Selective Service System PDF page and read this through. This page is simply talking about if you are between 18 and 26-year-old when you enter the United States, you must register with the U.S. Selective Service System within 30 days. And here are the steps. Once you acknowledge the process, you can close this page and return back to the main form. And here is the last step. You enter your case number. One thing that I want to point it out is when you enter your KCC case number, make sure that you skip out zeros in the middle. If you enter your case number with zeros, you're going to get an error like this. The case number you entered does not match the case number that you entered at sign in. Once you hit sign and submit, you're going to get this message. And in the next page, there is a confirmation. Here you can print your confirmation DS-260 form and email a copy. For all DV lottery applicants, next steps are listed right here. Here, my immigrant visa application status has now changed to completed. Once you submit your DS-260 form, you will receive an email from state.gov address with an attachment like this, stating that you will be contacted if your information was incomplete. Otherwise, you are just waiting for a visa number and an interview date. On average, applicants have to wait anywhere between 4 to 6 months. Again, this is just an estimate. If you'd like to see a list of all questions from DS-260 Immigrant Visa Application Form, please see description section down below. And I want to thank everyone for watching. Please subscribe this channel, share, and leave your comments down below. Good luck, everyone.